So you're coming up on your senior year, or maybe you're a new graduate, and it's time to start thinking about looking for a job. So I want you to start engaging in a process where you're thinking ahead or taking action now. And I want to be clear, these are guidelines, these are not rules. I don't know you and what your needs, talents, skills, capabilities are at all. So I can't tell you the specifics of what to do, but I want to give you an idea of some of the ways to explore. So the first thing I want you to do is to sit down and ask yourself, what do I want? You know, when it comes to careers, you know, start talking to people that you know who are already working and people that you don't know. How do you find people that you don't know? A couple of different ways: LinkedIn, Facebook, uh, people who graduated the year ahead of you, who already are out in the workforce. Talk to them. Say, this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm graduating with. How did you leverage your school background to find this position? What's it like working in this field? Start talking to folks, even at your parents' age, and just simply say, could you introduce me to someone who you know who? And from there, let them try and support you in this way. Now, I'm not telling you to follow everything your parents tell you. I want to be absolutely clear about that. But they do have some experiences, and they do have some relationships that you might be able to leverage. And from the purpose of information gathering, some of those relationships may be helpful to you. And once you start coming up with some ideas, I want you to start going an extra layer down. To see things that might be outside your comfort zone. So even if that means talking to someone about a sales position that you find is ridiculous, at least ask the questions. Start to explore. And the idea here is I want you to expand your thinking, because in the university environment, in high school, if that's where you are in the graduation circuit, if you're looking for work, you operated within a particular system where professors and other people who may not necessarily know the facts state a lot of opinions. Like, I was talking to someone not long ago for Job Search Radio who worked in a university career services office. And I asked them a couple of questions on the show, and I'm listening to them, and I'm thinking to myself, this person's giving people terrible advice. Uh, she's saying to them stuff along the lines of this is what you're worth on the open market. She doesn't know. She works in career services. What does she know? She's reading a survey somewhere. It's a show I didn't even broadcast because I thought the advice was so out of whack. So, recognize that you have to go into the field to get your information, not necessarily from a career services office. Some of them are capable, and many aren't. So you're better off confirming the data that they tell you, confirming the notions that they tell you by talking to people who are actually working in the field. Start thinking about what floats your boat, what gets you excited, and see how you can blend that into these ideas that you have for work. And I want you to also think about getting some experience, asking questions, maybe doing an internship post-graduation in a field that you're interested in. And you'll know in a couple of months whether this is worthwhile for you. And while you're doing the internship, continue to talk to folks, continue to interview, start getting together with things. I also want you to know that with all of this said and done, and with talking to all these people who are going to tell you exactly what you should be doing, it's up to you. Use all this stuff as a guideline, because at the end of the day, you'll be able to make lots of different career adjustments. And the notion is, just because you started in one field doesn't mean you have to stay in that field forever. You can expand your thinking. You can eventually go to grad school, or if you're coming out with your master's, you can go for your PhD to take the next step up. But when push comes to shove, the idea is getting the best information you can from people who are already in the field, maybe getting introductions by them to their employer, where you might be able to find work. Doing internships to explore things so that you can see whether what you're being told is true or not, and just getting out there. At the end of the day, no mistake in your job, in your career, at this stage in your career is going to be that insurmountable. I know everyone tries to lay this big, heavy burden on you, but it isn't true. You can make a mistake early, and when you interview and they ask you why you went to work for a law firm and you're interviewing with Facebook, said, yeah, I screwed up. I was given the idea it would be very different, and it is very different. It's not where I thrive. So learn your lessons early, make your mistakes, start talking to folks, learn your lessons, and you can do course corrections along the way. Hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.